Hello everyone, and welcome to another devlog for Bottled Sky, a game where you can collect a lot of stuff and have nowhere to put it all. Until now, that is. In the last video, I built the research feature allowing players to spend loot to upgrade their shuttle and unlock new stuff like crafting recipes. This is part of a larger effort to give players more reasons to actually explore and collect items by giving them uses in the central hub. If you haven't watched the last video, the central hub is sort of a home base for the player to return to between trips into outer space. In this video, I'll be continuing this effort by adding some new features to the hub. Starting off, I promised in the last video that I'll be adding Gamepad Support to the hub. Not much coding was required, but there was a fair bit of manual data entry to create intuitive navigation between all these buttons. Next up, alongside the research feature, I also started building the storage feature, which is a permanent storage for the items you collect while exploring space. I only created the bare minimum of what was needed to get the research features working, so I'm going to spend the rest of this video showing you all the updates to the storage UI. The first addition I want to make is a button to send everything from the shuttle's inventory into permanent storage. That was quick to make, but the next feature I want is sorting. I expect that over time I'll be adding many different items to the game. I already have about 40 of them planned at the time of writing this script. Adding a sorting feature to the storage should help players quickly find the items they need. I added a few different ways to view your items by clicking the new sort button and then selecting the sort method from this dropdown. Manual mode works mostly the same as how the original inventory has always worked, but these other modes will change the order of all the items and hide the trailing empty slots. I will probably add a couple more sort modes in the future once I have a better understanding of what will be useful to players and all the items are more fleshed out. Next, I did say I wanted to add drag and drop functionality, but in my infinite wisdom, it was already possible, which was a nice surprise. A lot of the code for this UI was copy-pasted from the original inventory code and repurposed, which saved me a lot of hassle. But I have one more thing to add in this regard. You can now drop items into this empty space, which automatically adds it to whichever inventory it's associated with. It's a small feature, but it's such a nice quality of life to have. Some of these features seemed really simple on the surface, but it took me quite a long time to test for edge cases and fix bugs to make sure you can't duplicate items, or worse, accidentally delete them. Most of the edge cases are caused by the fact that the shuttle's inventory obeys item stack limits, which are unique for every item type, while the permanent storage can hold an endless number of any given item. Hopefully, I caught everything. I've left some room at the bottom of this UI, and this is where I want to show details about whatever item you're currently looking at. I copy-pasted and then modified the UI layout from this area of the research UI for consistency. Then I copy-pasted the code for the description panel of the original inventory UI. After a hard minute's work, I was already done. It's nothing fancy, but it doesn't need to be. Another little missing feature that I hinted at in my last video was this Take X option in the context menu for the storage. I'll need a more specialized interface to allow players to select an exact number. I'd already built a generic dialogue pop-up feature which first appeared in the last video, but here I've created a variation specifically dedicated for choosing a number, which includes a slider and an input field. Here it is now hooked up to take items from storage, and I also included a Store X option. I can imagine some improvements I could make to this, but I'll wait until I've had other players to test it out and then make improvements based on feedback. Finally, the last finishing touch I want to add to the storage feature is Gamepad Support. This time, it did require a fair bit of coding because all of these item slots are dynamically generated, whereas the rest of the hub is all static. I did the same for the message pop-ups and the number selection pop-up I just made, along with some small adjustments to their layout. With that, I think I'm ready to call the whole storage feature finished and I can now move on to something else. I'll keep this video short, so that will be all for now. In the next video, I'll likely be continuing with the theme and we'll build a new feature for the hub. If you're interested in hearing about the next update, then subscribe to the channel. Also, I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments, or you can chat with me anytime by joining either of my Discord servers linked in the description. Thanks for watching, that's all for now, and I'll see you later.